From ABC, this is World News This Morning. Here's Asha Blake.
It's Thursday morning. Thanks for being with us on this day. In California, a dramatic story of vigilante justice ends with freedom and a public apology from a convicted killer. In Jamestown, east of San Francisco, Ellie Nessler was reunited with her children after serving a 4-year sentence for the courtroom slaying of Daniel Driver, who was accused of molesting her son. Earlier in the day, she made a plea bargain to win her release. Jim Weeder of KGO-TV has the story.
45-year-old Ellie Star Nessler spent...
In Jackson Township, New Jersey, it is being called a double tragedy. A 15-year-old is charged with sexually abusing and strangling an 11-year-old boy. Edward Werner was selling candy door-to-door for a school fundraiser. Police say he went to the suspect's door and that the teenager wanted the boy's money. The Army's top enlisted man is one step away from going to trial on sexual misconduct charges. A reviewing officer says Sergeant Major of the Army Gene McKinney should be court-martialed. The general in charge of the Washington Military District will make the final decision. McKinney has denied all the allegations. And in other news, one of the people who knew Princess Diana best is speaking out about her loss. Sarah Ferguson, Diana's former sister-in-law, says she thinks Diana would be overwhelmed by the intensity of the public mourning over her death. Fergie gave her first interview since the crash to ABC's Diane Sawyer on last night's Primetime Live.
How are you? I don't know.
Sarah Ferguson speaking with ABC's Diane Sawyer on last night's Primetime Live. Right now, it's time to take a look at your weather forecast for today. The Northwest is in for another stormy day with heavy rain and gale force winds. Scattered showers in the southern Rockies and in the southern plains, but most of the country will be sunny and dry. Cooler than normal in the Northeast, but summer-like temperatures for those of you in the central U.S. Seasonable out west. That's the national forecast. Now let's take a look at the weather where you are. Coming up on Good Morning America, the buck starts here. How to know when that stuff in your attic, all that stuff might be maybe a little bit valuable. That's news for now. Thanks for being with us. See you back here tomorrow.
You're watching ABC.
From ABC, this is World News This Morning. Here's Asha Blake.
Good morning and thanks for joining us on this Wednesday. We appreciate your time. There is a new development in the Middle East to tell you about as Israel and the Palestinians struggle to keep the peace process from falling apart. Today, Israel released a leader of the radical group Hamas from prison, citing his poor health. Now, it may seem like a humanitarian gesture, but like most events in the region, there's more than one way of looking at it. Here's ABC's Clay Scott.
Sheikh Ahmad Yassin was taken in the middle of the night from the Israeli prison cell he occupied for 8 years.
In Paris, previous test results found evidence of alcohol and prescription drugs in Henri Paul, the driver killed in the Princess Diana crash. Well, now new tests show how long those substances were in his system. ABC's Lucretia Quinn has that story.
New laboratory tests ordered by French authorities.
The Whitewater investigation is fast becoming one of the most expensive independent counsel probes in history. An audit shows independent counsel Kenneth Starr has spent about $30 million so far looking into President and Mrs. Clinton's Arkansas investments and other allegations of possible wrongdoing. Well, the record is $40 million spent investigating the Iran-Contra affair. And welcome back. In economic news, a solid gold deal for some silver screens. ABC's Juju Chang has that and the rest of the morning business report.
Good morning. A big deal for lots of big screens.
A new expanded TV rating system takes effect today. Viewers will see a V if a program contains violence, an S for sex, an L for language that could be viewed as offensive, and a D for suggestive dialogue. The new ratings will appear alongside current age-based ratings. All major networks except NBC are going along with this new ratings plan. Okay. For continuous coverage of the news, check out the ABC News website at abcnews.com. Look for it on the World Wide Web or through America Online. More news coming up. You're watching ABC's World News This Morning.
This morning's business report brought to you by Gateway 2000. It's almost 13 after.
A $20,000 baby grand piano seized from the home of O.J. Simpson must be returned. A judge in Santa Monica yesterday agreed with Simpson's mother, Eunice, who testified that the piano actually belonged to her. The piano was seized in August to help satisfy a $33 million civil judgment against Simpson. And if Mrs. Simpson ever needs someone to play that piano, she can call on one unique individual who has the ability well beyond his years. ABC's Nathan Thomas has the story from London.
Defying convention that all of us should be asleep right now, we are awake and alive and sitting up along with all of you. We're in New York. I'm Mark Mullen.
Thanks for being with us. I'm Asha Blake. Most likely they're sitting up. You know, they could be reclining, laying down, in bed.
It'd be interesting to do sort of a poll. I bet most people are sort of hanging out.
Although I've talked to a lot of people work late at night and they're sitting at their computers and have us on in the background, you know. I guess.
We're just music. And
we're just props in their lives.
That's all right.
Yeah, speaking of lives, you know, there are probably some mothers who have wanted to go on strike.
Nice segue.
Thank you. Have wanted to go on strike at some point in their life. But this may be the first time a mother has gone on strike, and there's video to show you about it, Mark. This is in Illinois. Check this out. This is a woman, Michelle Trudeau. She went up in a tree, and she said she was driven up a tree literally by the family that she waits on hand and foot. She's on strike. She put up a sign, on strike mom, no cooking, no cleaning, no doctoring, banking, or even taxi service, out of order. Isn't that wild?
Just sort of making a statement that she's tired of it?
Yeah, but then her kids, 7-year-old Rachel, 13-year-old Joseph, and 15-year-old Misty took out a plate of brownies. That always works. And mom came down. She
came out of the tree?
She came out of the tree and said negotiations are underway. Smart mother, smart mother. You. Yes, you. Come here. No, a little bit closer. Closer. I said closer. We, you, me, Juju, we are not alone. There are cameras everywhere, not just the ones on the air. Employers in thousands of workplaces have their eye on things, if you know what I mean. The issue of privacy in the workplace is under debate in Salt Lake City, where some workers made an unsavory discovery. Here's Tony Yang of KTVX-TV. Watch.
Jerry Winslow, the man on the left, is hoping his attorney will be able to convince a judge.
You love that little scepter, don't you?
It's a wand.
What's the difference between a wand and a scepter?
I don't know. I like wand better.
All right. Wave your wand. Alaska will be mostly dry.
Go away. Make him go away. Okay.
Milder than normal temperatures expected in much of the country. More on the national outlook. Local forecast.
Things are going downhill fast.
Runaway cows in South Dakota.
Go
Here
away.
I go. I'm going away.
Go away.
There go the lights.
No.
Out comes
the lights
the
are
hook.
coming out.
And happy Halloween, everybody.
Wait, I have to do my last Mark Mullen imitation. What's that all about?
Yeah, here's mine.
I never eat anything fattening, and I'm losing all kinds of weight.
Have a great weekend,
Leave me alone. Happy Halloween. Bye. Good time here. It's Wednesday morning. Hello from New York. I'm Asha Blake. We are having a good time, aren't we?
Absolutely we are. We're having a good time anyway, but this is a particularly fun morning.
Yeah, it really has been good. Good news all around.
At least for
stock
today.
market. How about the stock market?
Market. You have something to tell us? Oh, okay, all right. Just wanted to get that out of the way.
Stock market. Hey, you know what?
Are we done already with the weather?
You know that Genesis song? You picked that Genesis song.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know Mark's really into music, and he used to play the drums growing up. And we found a picture of you playing the drums, actually, you know, a while back. There you go. Right up in the right corner, after Peter Best, I believe, before Ringo. That was Mark in the group. A little bit of your history I thought people would like to get to know.
I'm the only person talking to the four as usual, right?
Okay, labor, let's see, there's Labor Day, slave labor, sort of like what happens to us here on the overnights, and maternity room horror stories of never-ending labor. Honey, we could talk. Well, ABC's George Watson has never been through labor that we know of, but he has some thoughts on organized labor and delivers a new singing commentary this morning, and we think it has his eyes.
Look for the union label. That used to be the catchy jingle of the International Ladies Garment Workers Union.
We've been talking about your music so much. Maybe we could get you to sing something, don't you think? Doesn't everybody want to hear them sing something? I would think. I would think everybody would want you to sing.
Oh boy, what is it? A 5-minute break over there?
We need a little more applause
Coffee,
than that,
donuts!
people. Can you think of a song that maybe all three of us can sing, and I'll kind of mouth the words?
Well, let's see. Now, you always listen to Kander and Ebb.
Of course,
growing
Kander
up.
and Ebb.
I know
Okay, we
you're
have 30
starring
seconds.
in,
30
Kander
seconds.
Ebb. So let's
What can we do?
Kander and Ebb, New York, New York.
New York, New York. My
Right.
favorite song. Start spreading
The
news.
I'm leaving today. I want to be a part of it.
What are you doing, Liza?
New York, New York.
Liza!
Because I can. These vagabond shoes
Come on, you can kick.
are longing to stray.
Speaking of shoes,
And step around the heart of it. New York,
New York!
That's
If I can make it there!
Okay, you want to sing high?
come on, let's sing high.
I'll make it. Oh, I can't do it.
Okay, that's the applause.
You know, Fred and John is suing in the morning.
You didn't sing.
I was too busy laughing.
Come on
I
now.
didn't.
It's up to you.
New York.
What key?
New York!
That was the key of Pumbaa.
Doesn't matter what key, roll.
All right, this is way too much fun. David, Ernie, thanks for coming in today. You're so much
My
fun to have.
pleasure.
All right, you didn't see their shoes, so we have to put them up there.
shoes.
They have matching shoes.
Well, now they can't see anything but our...
From the moment we kissed tonight, that's the way I just gotta behave.
So you're sitting in a comfortable chair at New York's Algonquin Hotel, nursing perhaps a libation. Then the cabaret sounds of our next guest sweep right over you. Julie Budd has been singing professionally since she was 12 years old. She starred alongside such greats as Frank Sinatra, Bob Hope, and George Burns, just to name a few. And her one-woman show, Pure Imagination, shares a name with her CD that I've been playing over and over and over again. Welcome, Julie. Thanks for coming in this morning.
Nice to be here.
Yeah, nice to have you. I swear, my husband threatens to throw me out of the house if I play this CD one more time. It's even broken because I've been hauling it around with me all over the place.
My CD has paid dues.
Yes, it has. It has attachment, darling. Attachment to me.
I love this.
Thanks for
I love the New York accent on it.
I've been working on it, you know, Midwestern girl. I've been working on it just for you. Anyway, I already said I love your CD and all the songs on it. It's beautiful.
Thanks a lot.
How are things going with the performance?
It's going
and the CD?
great. It's going great. People seem to be responding to it. And like I told you backstage, I'm so used to them saying no. I'm never used to them saying
You're saying,
yes.
what, you really like it? What? What's wrong with it?
What do you mean? What do you mean you like it?
Well, let's talk. You started when you were a mere child, 12 years old.
I was 12.
What was it like touring with Frank Sinatra and the other names I mentioned?
Well, it was like having a lot of famous daddies.
I can imagine.
I had Bill Cosby as a famous daddy, and I had Frank Sinatra as a famous daddy, and George Burns, and Milton Berle.
And they all got along? Everybody got along and treated you like a nice young daughter?
Well, I was treated like the kid, and they took real good care of me. And they loved each other. They did, even though they used to fight a lot amongst each other.
You stole my joke.
You stole my joke. That was the pineapple joke. No, that was the sassafras joke. You stole it in 1934. I never knew what they were talking about. I stayed out of the whole thing.
Yeah, probably a wise thing to do.
It was very smart to do.
Well, let's bring people up to date. How did you decide what to put on this CD? Did you have a mood in mind? You wanted to say, okay, I want people to put this on their CD player when they're having dinner, or what did you think?
Well, yeah, we did have a point of view. We wanted it to be American standards, and we wanted it to be those songs that everybody knows but nobody does, and we wanted them handled very differently. And Herb Bernstein produced a great album. And he arranged a lot of great stuff along with Don Sebesky and Peter Moore. And Lisa Schiff, who's the president of Touchwood, had a lot to say about what went on the album, and she has impeccable taste. So I just showed up, I did the vocals.
Yeah, you just did the vocals,
I did the
darling. You did
vocals.
lovely vocals.
Well, thank you.
And speaking of vocals, you're so much fun. So I've been playing all of these, and you know my favorite is number 4. I mean, it's always been a favorite.
Yeah, and you told me your little girl likes that
My
too.
little daughter, yes, I'm trying to teach her, but, you know, listen to Julie, don't listen to me. So would you sing some for us today?
Yeah, I'd love
Maybe a
it.
little bit
I
of
would
number
love
4?
to do that.
You know, I just happen to have a microphone.
You know,
we
you're
happen
very
to have
handy.
lights.
You're
and happen
very,
to have
very
music.
handy girl. Keeping you around.
Okay, take it away.
Please don't let this feeling
Colors of the Wind won an Oscar, a Golden Globe, and a Grammy for Stephen Schwartz. His big-time credits began when he was only 23 years old, and he wrote music and lyrics for Godspell. Now add to that Pippin, The Magic Show, Disney's Hunchback of Notre Dame, Rags, and other shows, including the 1998 DreamWorks animated movie, Prince of Egypt. Now, as well as his new album, Reluctant Pilgrim, and now he's got some magic to do with us this morning. Cue magic to do. Hi,
There it
Stephen.
is. Perfect cue, isn't it?
Thanks for coming in this morning.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
You know, we're going to get into your new CD, Reluctant Pilgrim, in just a second, but let's talk about some of your other music that everybody knows and loves. And I could yap about it, but let's hear it. I want to hear how you dreamt up Day by Day or A Corner of the Sky, songs like that.
Oh, well, Day by Day, of course, is from Godspell, and we wanted to come up with a song that the audience would be singing, literally would be singing along with by the time it was over. So it's just the same thing over and over and over again, you know. It's just, it's 6 times or 8 times or something through doing, you know, day by day, day by day, oh dear Lord, 3 things I pray, to see thee more clearly, love thee more dearly, follow thee, you should sing along, more nearly, day by day. It's the same thing over and over again.
Did you think it would be a hit?
No, but now I know it's because all I have to do is do 6 lines over and over again. That's
And
the,
it'll
the
work.
secret.
That's
yeah.
the secret. And Pippin, Corner of the Sky?
Yeah, Corner of the Sky is... everything has its season, everything has its time. Show me a reason, and I'll soon show you a rhyme. Cats fit on the windowsill, children fit in the snow. Why do I feel I don't fit in anywhere I go? Rivers belong where they can ramble. Eagles belong where they can fly. I've got to be where my spirit can run free. Gotta find my corner of the sky. That was written on the car ride, thank you, from Washington to New York.
I was just going to ask you about that. Where do you get your inspiration? Do you dream up a song title? Do you write it on the back of envelopes? I write things on the back of plane tickets, you know, and when I'm writing somewhere.
Well, I was working on Pippin, and I had a song in that spot, and I just couldn't finish it, and I think if something is too difficult to do, then actually there's something wrong with it. And I'd been working at it for 2 weeks, and I finally thought, you know what, there's something wrong with this. I'm just going to scrap it and start all over again. So I was driving back from Washington to New York and trying to think about, this is a song about a guy who doesn't feel he fits in anywhere. I had the line, why do I feel I don't fit anywhere I go? And I was thinking, what fits places? And you know, oh yeah, cats on a windowsill. And I would like pull off and scribble down cats on windows, children in snow. So I kept weaving on and off the road.
Probably causing accidents all the way down the highway.
I'm lucky I got home in one piece, and I hope everybody behind me and ahead of me did.
It was a great song. You know, let's talk about your CD.
Thank you.
Reluctant Pilgrim.
Reluctant Pilgrim.
They got the CD to me, and it was after the show one day. I put it in at 5 o'clock in the morning in my CD player downstairs, and it was beautiful.
Thank
your
you.
voice is really beautiful, but now this is the first time you put your voice on a CD, right? Tell me about that.
Yeah. Well, have always been behind the scenes, and finally friends of mine have been saying, you know, why don't you have the guts? First of all, instead of writing songs and hiding behind characters, why don't you actually write about your own life and about people you know and things that are, you know, directly in your life instead of sneakily filtering it through characters in movies and shows. And so I started to write songs like that, and people would hear them and say, can I have a demo of the song? And I was making demos and sending them out to singers who were doing them, and I started getting calls from producers, record producers, who would say, you know, we really like this guy you have singing the demo, could we ever use him? And after about 3 of those, I thought, maybe I wouldn't be so foolish if I would put all these songs together, a bunch of new songs in one place, and sing them myself and put them on out there.
Will you do 1 or 2 of my favorites? I like a lot of them here, but I like
you.
number 2 in particular, Crowded Island.
Oh, Crowded Island.
That's funny.
Yeah, that's about my friends and their love lives, because and all my friends know who they are in the song, you know. Everyone I know wants to be in love with someone, just not with someone they know. Everyone I know will tell you they're a cynic, then cry at some old movie on the video. Oh, 8 million people in 22 square miles, and there's never anyone meet? Will I guess at a banquet with nothing to eat? So we hunger for the waiter or crave the operator on the telephone, just trying not to be alone on this crowded island.
That's the only line I know from the song.
Well, you just need that one hook.
We're running out of time here. You want to play one more? A little bit of one more?
You know what? Maybe I'll do. Since it's called Reluctant Pilgrim, and people are always saying, why is this called Reluctant Pilgrim? I'll do this. It's a line from a song, because it's a song about taking risks and doing things you've never done before, which this
is. This scary? Is it scary for you to sing like this?
It's really scary for me. Yeah, I'm not. I haven't done it enough to get used to it yet. So I'm thinking like, I'm going to hit the wrong chords. I'm going to forget the lyrics. You know, I think if after you do it for a while, you know what you're doing. But it's still new for me.
Is he doing a good job, people? Camera crew.
No wrong chords so far.
Yes,
Thank you, camera crew.
Yeah, we can get applause from the newsroom.
Thank you. I'm hearing applause in the newsroom. And that I suspect that doesn't happen too often.
Never.
Applause in the newsroom. So anyway, this is a song called Dreamscape, and it explains why this. I'll just do like the first verse and chorus for you, and it explains why it's called Reluctant Pilgrim. I hope it explains anyway. See, I hit a wrong note.
We wouldn't have known.
Of a riverbank, mists enshroud the farther shore. I am standing in a wooden boat, in my hands a golden oar. Will I row against the current, or let myself be carried out to sea? Where I reach land at last is up to the river, but the journey is up to me. Time to say, reluctant pilgrim, my fear is all I've got to lose. Life is nothing but a dreamscape, and the dream is mine to choose. So on.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, we're out of time.
That's why I'm only doing one verse at a time.
Okay. Will you come back and play for us again?
I would love to. I had a great time. Thank you so much for your enthusiasm about the CD and for inviting me.
That's fine. Will you do a new theme song for us for World News Now?
A new theme song for World News Now.
We can practice that later on. I'm going to have to say goodbye right now.
Yes, I'll come up with a theme song, but not on the spot.
Okay.
I'll do it
in a couple of days?
when I'm off the air. No, I'll do it, but just when we go off, and then I'll think of something.
Okay, and then we'll play it later in the show.
You got it.
That is hateful.
Not as hateful as this is going to be.
Oh,
We've been talking about Frank Sinatra tonight, and I have to hurry up and do this. 1 minute. And Frank Sinatra, everybody here has been singing Frank Sinatra songs because we did this interview about Frank Sinatra. Well, our executive producer loves Frank Sinatra, and okay, I might get fired for this, but he was singing Frank Sinatra songs up in the control room. I don't know, for the last couple of hours, and we got some of that on tape for you.
When I was 21, it was a very good year. It was a very good year for small town girls.
Then he switched to
Brett
a different
Marcus,
song.
ladies and gentlemen.
Then he switched to another song.
And the way you look tonight.
Oh, man.
There's one more. Obviously, he didn't know we were taping this. Is there one more? Maybe not.
No more?
Maybe I'll be leaving the set now.